Hey guys, welcome back to the Fool Show. Of course, I am Foolish Phil. Just wanted to give you some of my thoughts after Michigan's 85-78 victory over the Northwestern Wildcats, improving to 4-2 in the Big Ten. This game was critical for Michigan. Really needed to get this after losing 2 straight games on the road. It's going to take all the wins Michigan can get to make the tournament. Some prognosticators are saying they're going to have to finish 10-5 in the Big Ten, finish that way, from going forward. So definitely you have to control home court. So, game started and Michigan came out on fire. Northwestern couldn't hit anything. Michigan hit 7 of their first 10 shots, raced out to an 18-6 lead. Jett Howard had a couple threes. Kobe hit a couple shots. A nice corner three, I believe, there too. 18-6. And I thought maybe this was going to go the Maryland game way, where Michigan was just going to start hot and not let up. But, oh, did that change. Northwestern's coach Collins called a timeout. And after that timeout, Michigan turned the ball over 7 of the next 8 possessions, and the 8th possession was a corner three that hit the backboard. So all of a sudden Northwestern turned up their defense, and Michigan turned more sloppy. They didn't adjust well, and suddenly Michigan's 12-point lead was gone. And it continued that way for the rest of the half. The last 10 minutes of the game, Michigan was outscored, I think, 27-10 at one point in there, and even at halftime, they were down 39-37. And as a fan, I thought it was actually fortunate that Michigan was even down by that much. I thought, just the flow of it, Michigan was struggling for everything. And Northwestern, anytime Michigan would turn the ball over, get points, anytime Michigan would take a bad shot, they didn't get back on defense to give up quick, easy runouts and layups and such. It's so. And then only down by 2. A big key to here was that in the first half was that Hunter Dickinson was very limited. He hit 2 jump shots out of 3 jump shot attempts and never got in the post. Northwestern did a wonderful job of double teaming, and Michigan just settled for him to try to throw out to that. Didn't come up with any play. That does reek of Coach Howard kind of not knowing how to handle a double team. I mean, every team's been kind of double teaming Hunter for a while. So it's how come Michigan doesn't have any idea how to handle a double team? I know you want to pass out and skip the ball real quick for an open three, and that does happen, and it's not like it didn't. But Michigan was doing nothing that opened up anything for Hunter offensively. Yeah, you would throw down to him, but he would just have to give the ball up real quick. Michigan finally got him his first post shot 33 minutes into the game. 7 minutes to go, he finally got a post shot, and he hit a hook shot and got fouled on it too, which was a nice play. So, anyway, getting ahead of myself. So, halftime, 2-point game. Barron for Northwestern played extremely well, 12 points in the first half, and due to foul trouble with, I think it was Nicholson, they had to play small ball, and Michigan struggled with that. Obviously, if you're going to double Hunter, that really takes away your offensive ability, right, to take advantage of that. And when you have Hunter trying to play this smallish power forward who can take you off the dribble and such, it was a big advantage for Northwestern. Second half, though, that didn't quite continue because Barron got into foul trouble. He was limited to 4 points in the second half. Nicholson played more, and at one point, the start of the second half, Nicholson was -7 on the points differential, and then he was -12 when he got taken out of the game. So, when Northwestern was out of foul trouble, their small ball lineup really gave fits to Michigan. But something really important happened, I think, that really spurned Michigan to a positive outcome here, is that Williamson, T-Will, he didn't box out in the first minute, didn't box out, gave up an offensive rebound, didn't box out again, and then fouled a guy. And that was an auto bench for him. He sat for basically the rest of the half till it was free throw time, and they put him in instead of Reed because he's a better free throw shooter. So, I loved it that Howard pulled him. And I honestly think going forward, you need to not have Williamson playing at all. I would rather have Reed play or a Cheddar play, someone who's actually going to care. Because Reed and Cheddar played a lot harder than Williamson did this game. And it's it just speaks to me, who's going to play? The one who should be playing are the ones who work hardest. And Williamson is not doing that. He's out there to get those loose balls, to box out. He's not doing that. So he goes to the bench. Cheddar comes in. Cheddar gets 4 points, so throughout the half he gets some offense, some good rebounds. He's still a redshirt freshman, but he gave energy, whereas T. Will just kind of doesn't, right? Another thing that really helped was, I know in my last video I criticized Michigan saying that when they played both Hunter and Reed, it didn't really seem to do anything. Today was different. When Hunter and Reed were out there together, it seemed like Reed was more comfortable with what they were doing. So Hunter would get the double team, Reed would slip right to the hoop, and boom, nice shot, get a layup, get a dunk. Like some nice alley-oop play from Doug to Reed off a Hunter screen. It was much more polished. I mean, even Robbie Hummel said it. It's like these 10 minutes that Reed is getting now are going to pay so much dividends going forward, and you can see it. And that's the promise of this team, and the frustration of this team is you can see how they play well, and then you see how they just go terrible, like having 18 turnovers in a game. 18. They averaged 9 to 10, and they had 18 in this in this game, rather. Oh, Michigan starts hitting a couple shots. They get the Reed to Hunter connection going. They build up the lead. And this time, in crunch time, oh, man, we came down to crunch time again. It's foul shots and everything, and Hunter gets hit, goes to the line, misses 2 free throws. T. Will gets fouled, hits 1 of 2. It's like, oh, man, this is how you lose games. I was typing that to my brother. I'm like, this is how you lose games. Free throws. You got to hit those. But fortunately, today versus Iowa game, Northwestern came down and they had their open threes, their best three-point shooter, and he missed. That's the difference, right? Last game, like, whatever, the guy for Iowa hit 2 back-to-back threes to really dagger, right? And, of course, the Kobe foul on him, the 4-point play, which was just like, oh, you can't believe it. But today they didn't make the shots. So I don't know if Michigan can really say we did it right, we got the win. I mean, they're still like, oh, man, you got to close out on those shooters. You can't let their best three-point shooter have a wide-open shot when you're up by 5. But in the end, Michigan survives. Michigan gets the all-important win. I got to tell you, Hunter Dickinson went, I think he went 2 of 6 from the free throw line, finished with double-double, 10 points, and 15 rebounds. So I got to give him credit for 15 rebounds. My big stars of the game, Terrace Reed, he had, I'm just quick look here, 6 points, 5 defensive rebounds, and 3 offensive rebounds. And those offensive rebounds were hustle plays. Those plays were so important. Then you had Cheddar, he had 4 points, and I think he had a couple rebounds in there too. Kobe had such a big game, 20 points. He shot extremely well. Jett, again, a little tired. Again, you can kind of see it. But you can't really complain when he got 16 points. I wonder if he'll win Big Ten Player of the Week this week or not. Or he certainly will probably win Freshman of the Week, at least. And then Doug. Man, what a game by Doug. 17 points, man. Have a game. New career high for him. I mean, after Iowa, I was overly harsh in my video. It was frustrating how the team blew that game and lost. When the team plays like that, you see the potential of Doug, you see Reed, you see Howard. It's like, man, there's so much skill, there's so much ability. If they could just put it together for longer stretches, for consecutive games, you have hope. And that's at least something I didn't have after Iowa. I have hope, again, that this team can get somebody to go together and play some good ball. So, this is my thoughts. Michigan pulls it out. Michigan gets the victory. And Northwestern, give them credit, right? That Buran finished 16, Bowie finished 22, Nicholson 13. But Michigan goes off and gets the victory, 85-78. They needed this win, and it's good to get a win. 4-2 in the Big Ten, and keep going. Got to win the next game. Just win the next game. Win the next game. Hey, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, I appreciate the views and comments. Put them in the box to try to respond as I'm able to. Until I see you guys next time. As always, go blue.